Alrighty, let's put this show on the road and hope there's no desyncing issues. In fact, give me 1 second, please. Alright, looks like it's working. So I'll be starting very soon. Well, it's technically 1 level, 1 short boss arena, and 1 full game. So today I'll be playing Buster's level, Rockman 2020 New Year's Hack, and Rockbot. So without further ado, let's begin. Because of the shortness of the first 2 Let's Plays, I will compile them into the same video once I edit it down. So welcome to Steam YouTube, Buster, Vincenzo, Daibuman, YouTube, Sylveon, Jedok, Eduardo, and everyone else. Greetings everyone, my name is Ettervel, and welcome to my Let's Play of this short fan game, Bart Also Wants a Christmas Special. This will be my first impressions playthrough, so I apologize in advance for any silly mistakes or false assertions I make. This is the thing Buster has mentioned he's been working on for the past week or so. So let's see how good it is. I call it a fan game, but really it's just 1 level and a boss fight at the end. I'm counting this as a fan game because we had a similar situation for Mega Man's Christmas thingy by Spark, and that was also only 1 level and a boss at the end. Nice way to introduce these gimmicks and enemies. Oh yeah, I only have the Mega Buster for this stage, nothing else. That's a brilliant way to telegraph these pop-up attackers. Now, as this was made in the Megamix engine, I will be harsher on grading this. I will be harsher with my comments, compared to my comments on levels made in Mega Man Maker, as you have so much more flexibility and content available in this engine. And I will decrease the sound, and I will decrease the music volume in post. So the storyline of this hack is that Buster is trying to stop Christmas. So the storyline behind this fan game is that Buster wants to stop Christmas. First dead. I panicked a bit. Checkpoint placement's fine though. I think these snowball throwing enemies are custom enemies, along with the presents. because this is the Magnus engine, the ice physics aren't too bad. If only had the rush coil. The tile sets and backgrounds. The foreground and background tile sets are on the more simplistic side, but they get the job done. Knocked into the pit. Pretty much everything is custom? That sounds neat. That sounds great. I thought the snowdropper enemies and the snowmen already existed, but I guess they didn't. I guess they didn't already. Thank you, damage boosting. You're my best friend in these games. Oh, hi there, Buster. In the flesh. No sprite on... No mugshot, sadly. Mega Man Star Force 3 boss team. And custom boss fight. Always a pleasure to see. And I got kicked in the face. Sadly, the dialogue repeats. But Bart, you forgot Rule 0. Let's see how long it takes for me to defeat him. Well, I have infinite lives, so I can take as many times as I want. More like edgy high schooler. Even if the dialogue repeated, I wish we had different dialogue for each time after each time we failed. If I could actually hit you, I'd be a lot happier. Seriously, when you teleport in, you immediately attack. You basically have no time to counterattack, unless you want to take some damage. At least you do not attack 3 times in series. Yeah, I'll definitely mark this as being sort of a fan game. The same way I marked Mega Man's Christmas thingy. Although, unlike Wishing Star, the battle against Buster is a lot more challenging. So which side he teleports to so which side he teleports to during the next attack in this series is not standardized. It's basically the speed in between attacks which causes the most problems. Considering it's only one level, you could also just create an object that always persists. And we don't have a special weapon weakness either. It's this attack which I had the most problem with, considering how fast it comes out. I hate this attack the most. Especially as I can't tell what attack he's going to do immediately afterwards. It's 50-50, but timing is... I wish there was slightly more delay just before he does the first attack in the series. Right now, it feels like I'm playing this boss on very hard mode, and it's a significant difficulty spike with the rest of the level. If anything, this feels like... the first half of the stage felt like normal difficulty, but this feels kind of out of place. I don't really hate the boss battle, it's just the stage didn't prime me for this. It's like suddenly I'm playing on superhero mode. It's like I swap between playing on normal mode and superhero mode. At last, you've been defeated, Buster. But we only stunned him. We are a robot after all, so we won't kill him. Alright, here are my overall thoughts. The most memorable part of this stage was the final section, and especially the boss battle. But I'd honestly suggest that you tone down the boss battle, or make the stage preceding a lot tougher, because once we enter the boss arena, it's like as if the game flipped a switch and immediately turned the difficulty from normal to superhero mode. My biggest problem with the battle, or where I had the biggest hurdles, was with that flash kick attack. Specifically, I wish there was slightly more delay just before his first attack, and just after he does his final attack, because you have to quickly react to which one of two attacks he'll do right afterwards, whether he'll dash onto the floor or go back up into the ceiling. Other than that, all the patterns are readable, you just need to react quickly to what he's doing. Plus he takes 3 damage from the full charge shot, plus he takes full 3 damage from the charge shot, And none of his attacks knock you out of the charge shot either, so I guess it balances out that way. Plus, I could have used the E-Tank I acquired earlier. So overall, I say that this was okay to decent. Despite being made in 1 week, I feel it could have done more with at least the backgrounds and aesthetics, as well as spruced up the boss fight with mugshots and changing up the boss dialogue if global variables are used. I won't push too hard. I won't be that hard. I won't go harsher on this game. I won't go harsher on this level and boss fight, as it was only made in under an hour. As it was only made in under a week. My apologies. Nevertheless, Merry Christmas and nevertheless, Happy late Christmas and have a Happy New Year. On to the second Let's Play. I wouldn't mind playing a sequel to this during next New Year, perhaps with more time and polish put into it. And oh yeah, we're missing the credits. Must have run out of time for that. Alrighty, on to the next game. Let's see if I screw this up. Ah, there we go. Greetings everyone, my name is Etterville, and I welcome you all to my blind live Let's Play of Rockman 2020 New Year's Hack. A Rockman 1-6 ROM hack developed by Puresabe. This was made for the New Year, which in China is the year of the rat/mouse. And this is the 6th in the New Year, and this is the 6th in the New Year's series of hacks. So without further ado, let's begin. This will be my first playthrough, so I apologize in advance for any silly mistakes or false assertions I make. If you're familiar with this ROM hack series, it's basically just a boss rush. Trying to electrify the water. Come on, I almost got you. One more. Goodbye, Raton. Nope, Raton number 2. It's never that easy. And this one takes double damage from the Buster by default. Now onto the mini ones. And now the mini ones. And thus ends the Mega Marathon's reign of terror. But there's one more left. Rip Mega Man for the 6th time. Happy New Year to you too, Puresabe. Just like the rest in the series, you are ranked at the end. I say I got a B rank overall. Not too bad. I could have done better, but hey. Let me try it one more time and see if we can get a better score. At least complete it faster. Yep, year of the rat. Last year is the year of the pig. About as good as before. Sadly, I fumbled some of the jumps. Kinda screwed up the order here. Move the other side, please. Now let's see if I did better this time. Based on my life total, I think I did worse. In any case, after you defeat the boss for the first time, the rest of your playthroughs will be aiming to get a better score. Slightly better, but I took more damage. In post, I will attach my best playthrough of it. I'll try no damaging it at the very least. Just like the rest in the New Year's Hack series, this was fun. Though this was much easier than the year of the pig entry. Boy, that was a lot more painful to get through. Nevertheless, this was one fun boss encounter. Felt more like a fortress boss. But it's to be expected. Puresabe is one of the better boss designers in the hacking community. So I'll be looking forward to any of these in the future. so I'll be looking forward to the rest in the series. There'll probably be at least 6 more of them, perhaps concluding in a final ultimate fan game of possibly concluding in a final ultimate fan game where we face off against all 12 of them at once, or they all combine into a giant mecha. Alrighty, let's hope this works. And hope nothing breaks horribly. XX88, Kaido City. Storm rages Japan's capital. Havoc robot forces attack humans. I'll just edit in the intro text in post. This is going too fast. I know I've complained about some of the intro text crawls being too slow in the past, but this has the opposite problem. Greetings everyone, my name is Zetterville, and I welcome you all to my blind live let's play of Rockbot 1, The Machine Wars, a Mega Man Classic inspired freeware game developed and published by Upperland Studios. I've heard about this title for a few years, and I finally gotten the time to play this title. I've heard several things about it, but let's see just how good it is. It's also an open source SDL library based game engine too, which I will get into if I have time during the later half of this live stream. So let's start a new game. And I've heard it's on the easier side, so I'll play the game on hard mode. So two choices of characters, Rockbot and Betabot. Rockbot has a shield, charge shot, and sliding. Betabot has sliding or dashing, dash jumping, and double shots. As most people play the game using Rockbot, I'll instead play the game using Betabot. So kind of like base, but without double jumping, and with double the firepower compared to Mega Man. Apparently we also collect armor pieces. Apparently we also collect armor upgrades in this game. On the top left is our health bar. 5 circles. I guess they work closer to how the hearts work in Zelda. Thanks for making the checkpoints obvious. That's not a criticism, that's a positive. That's not a criticism, that's a positive. I suppose these spikes don't exist on the easier difficulty modes. Easy extra life. So far the game seems easy enough, but of course it's the intro stage. As this is a blind Let's Play, I apologize in advance for any silly mistakes or false assertions I make. Jeez, he jumps and falls pretty fast. Pretty easy boss patterns, all things considered. And we're taken immediately to the Roadmaster selection screen, or rather the bot selection screen. Starting from the bottom, Spikebot, Dynamitebot, Mummybot, Apebot, Daisybot, Seahorse-Bot, Magebot, and Technobot. Who should I go after first? Technobot it is. And welcome to the stream, all the new viewers. I wonder if someone can translate the binary text over to English. It may have some Easter eggs. Darn, I can't reach that red gem chest. Because of the coloration, I suppose it's essentially this game's version of an energy tank, which restores my health back up to full. Here comes the introduction of disappearing and reappearing blocks. Thankfully I can dash. If I was playing as Rockbot though, I would have to use them. I would have to use them to cross this section. I would have to use them to cross the section. Can only have 2 volleys on screen at a time, I guess. Can only have up to 2 volleys on screen at a time. But that's more than enough, especially at close range. Controls feel fine to me. I'm playing this game using a keyboard, by the way. I tried setting up a controller earlier, but it didn't work out for me. I couldn't dash or slide properly. I couldn't dash or slide properly using the controller. Wait, is there a secret to the right? I know there are upgrades in this game, so I better take a look. Like there could be an invisible ladder or something. No, and I don't have a special weapon that can blow up the wall. Well, this was a rather straightforward stage. And now you're speaking in English. Come on, do you have any projectile attacks? Okay, that's different. Slow explosions. Bosses don't really deal that much damage to me, it seems. And by defeating him, I got the timed bomb. Let's go after Dynamite Bob next, as someone requested. Thanks for translation, Daibuman. Let's try out the timed bomb. I can remotely detonate it, by the way. Seems fairly powerful. And it pierces through enemy guards too, so seems like a fairly powerful weapon. In fact, it can blow up in the blocks. Those blocks probably collapse when I jump on them. Those blocks probably collapse when I land on top of them. Yeah. Two extra lives, what else? I still maintain my jump momentum for whatever reason. Red, green, and white? So E tank, W tank, and M tank. I lost my dash jump momentum. This is a Mega Man inspired freeware title, Daibuman. It has more leeway in terms of dialogue. I'm gonna try this section one more time, then I'll take the normal route. I keep losing my dash jump momentum once I jump off of the downwards going platform. So I'll come back here once I get the Eagle Jet. You get a lot of ammo for the timed bomb. Probably could do with about half the amount of ammo. I mean, it's kind of like the crash bomb, but with double the ammo capacity, and you can remotely detonate it. Sadly, you can't fire it forwards. It's always going to be placed in front of you. Minor disadvantage. True. Otherwise, it'd just be straight up probably the best weapon in the game. Unless a few of the weapons are even more broken. I see you hiding in the rocks, enemies. Well, I can't fit in here. I need to be able to slide. In order to get that, I need to be playing as Rockbot. Dr. D. Dr. Discord? Dr. Doom? Wait, what? You have Flashman's ability? You have the ability to just freeze me in place with that flash? Your hitbox is a bit bigger than what it looks like. Mega Man X3 Boss Syndrome. Specifically when you use their weaknesses. But here we're just using the Buster. But here we're just using the arm cannon. But here we're just using the twin arm cannon. Even after face tagging several blows, he didn't really deal that much damage to me. And this is on hard mode, by the way. Dynamite Flash and Jet Eagle. So before I go on to the next stage, let me see what's down over there. For some reason, you maintain your dash. For some reason, you. Whoops. Wasn't paying attention. I'll go after Dazybot next. For some reason, you maintain your dash jump momentum even while standing on top of these blocks. Wow, this is fast. And as expected, here's the first armor upgrade. Wait, I fire semi-charged shots now? And I don't even need to charge them up. I guess Rockbot's equivalent would be a mega charge shot. Well, this is amazing. Do I have an exit utility? Doesn't look like it. Now let's test it out and see how broken it is. I think it deals 50% more damage. And no, I don't want to game over here because I have 6 lives and I don't want to waste all of them. Remember, I don't know how to... Well, I'll talk about it more when I get to Dazybot. This will be edited down in post, so I don't have to repeat myself. And we're out. Off to Dazybot. And now we're in the Mushroom Kingdom. It looks like the Mushroom Kingdom to me. the outskirts of it. So the semi-charged shots, from what I gather, I guess they deal at least 25 to 50%. They deal at least 25 to 50% more damage. And this is only one of the 3 upgrades I can get. There's still the body and leg parts left to... There's still the body and leg parts left to get. Okay then, so the lightly colored rocks are fall through. Oh goody, atomic ostriches. I like the first half of the song, but the second half, not so much. Oh yeah, by the way, here's the flash weapon. Freezes enemies in place for a short while, and you can still use your twin cannons while doing so. Why put the harder way to get that extra life when you have this platform down over here? That seems backwards to me. And that's it. One of the easiest stages so far. There should have been at least 1 or 2 more sections following it. In fact, I feel most of these stages feel like they're 33% shorter than they feel 33% shorter than what they actually should be. You know that ground falling attack would be a lot more dangerous if she fired more than one at a time. Or if she ran faster. First perfect run of a boss. Petals Rainbow. No idea what that does. Let's go after Spikebot next. Let's get over... This may or may not be the hardest stage. This may or may not be the hardest bot stage in the game, so I want to get it done as soon as possible. While I still have 7 lives remaining. I do like how each stage has its own variations on the Hatter enemies. I do like how each stage has its own take on the Hatter enemy. I kinda wish more Mega Man games in general did some... I wish more of the Mega Man Classic games did something similar with the Metar enemies, to make them fit more with the environment. Interesting, so we can destroy the spine analogs. Although that may be because I have the upgraded arms. Petals Rainbow. So the arcing weapon. Kind of feels weak to be honest. Especially compared to how much ammo it uses. And there's nothing here. Absolutely nothing. Maybe if I was playing as a different character, there'd be something there. The other issue I have with this game one of the issues I have with this game currently is you can only the max resolution you can set it to on Windows. The max resolution you can set it on Windows. The max resolution you can set it on windowed mode is 2x, which makes it kind of hard to see things, especially with my monitor's current resolution. I wish there was a 3x or 4x option. Oh well, someone could probably program it in. After all, this game and engine are open source. So if a weapon feels too weak or a stage feels too easy, I or someone else can always just edit it. In fact, this game actually comes with a game editor, which allows you to edit almost every aspect of the game. Which allows you to edit practically all elements of the game, barring probably a few exceptions. Oh, missed that. At least this stage felt longer than the previous one, though it could have done with at least 1 or 2 more sections. Okay, he's kind of more like a ninja. I suppose Betabot is better for going through stages, whereas Rockbot is better for defeating bosses, because of his charge shot. They're too slow. As a response. Bot it is. They're too slow, Snivy, and they don't deal enough damage. It feels like I have 50% increased armor in this game at all times. The only real dangers are falling into spikes or bombless pits. Let's try out this. I still think the bomb weapon's better, especially as it pierces your enemy guards. I'll probably save it for weakness affiliations. Right now I feel my best weapons are my twin arm cannons, and the timed bomb. Right now we have one overpowered weapon being the time bomb. Right now it feels I have one overpowered weapon, the time bomb, one okay weapon being the time stopper, I guess. My twin cannons being on the more overpowered side right now, but that's probably because I'm playing as a... That's probably because I have the upgraded cannons. And the two other weapons, those being the spike change, and my two other weapons, those being the spike chain and Petals Rainbow, they feel underpowered. Mainly in terms of their mainly in terms of the max ammo count, ammo usage, and damage amount. Yes, Vincenzo, this game comes with a level editor. Although in reality it's a game editor, because it allows you to add in new edit and add in new enemies, bosses, mini-bosses, and even change the game flow. If I have time left on the stream, I will showcase the editor. Whoa, that goes out pretty fast. I lost my dashing momentum. It is a graphical editor, yes. Doesn't work against mini bosses, sadly. I feel part of this game's easy difficulty issues could be fixed with more difficult level design and more enemies that actually fire back at you instead of trying to melee you. Really? It's not worth it going for those again. Well, okay, I'll try it again, but this time I will use the eagle. Easy button. Gotcha, Gokulis. Oh. Body armor. I didn't expect there to be a fake wall here. I probably missed one or two of them in an earlier stage. Resist spikes? Welp. There goes one major avenue of the game's difficulty. I thought it was just going to be the spike guard, which reduces the damage you take by spikes by 25 or 50%. But, nope. Infinite skull barrier. Now my only worries are the weak enemies and bottomless pits. And lava. there's still one more armor part to get, the boots. What will that give me? Double jumping, air dashing, boat. I wonder what power-up Mega Man... I wonder what power-up Rockbot would get here. I wonder what upgrade Rockbot would get here. At last, the boss that is actually doing more. And a boss that dealt a notable amount of damage to me. Apequake and Coil Frog. Let's go after Mage Man next. Let's go after Magebot next. He's just Ape Drill. I was expecting projectile attacks in general. That's what I'm complaining about this game. Most of the enemies and bosses don't have any projectile attacks, or they're too heavily, or they're over-focused on melee attacks. In the game franchise that inspired this freeware title, there was a better balance between melee and ranged units. There was a better balance between melee and ranged enemies. Melee enemies dealt more damage to the player, but tended to be easier to dodge. Whereas ranged enemies, although being more difficult to avoid, their projectiles dealt less damage. But remember, there are always exceptions to this. But remember, this is just a general rule. This did not apply to all enemies. So this enemy tries to telefrag me. See, I would like more enemies like the wizards there, who actually try shooting me, or even some of the Hatter enemies like here, who try shooting me and then jump towards me. They pose some modicum of challenge. Oh yeah, I forgot, I had to use the other special weapon. So that hurts all ground-based enemies. On screen at a time. Really powerful, but kind of limited. Plus it uses quite a bit of ammo too. Okay, when I said ground-based, I mean close to ground. Okay, so when I said ground-based, it apparently also includes enemies close to the ground, like the shield attackers. And that's it. Stage done. Ow. Watch as I get hit by every single barrier. Seriously, the Star Bearer should deal more damage to me. If this was a Mega Man Classic game, I would have been dead. I would have been dead already. I would have lost already. And yet I won. And yet I persevered on my first attempt. Magic Star. Off to Seahorse. Are we in the Mushroom Kingdom? Are we in the Mushroom Kingdom sewers now? This kind of reminds me of Sonic Bowl. This kind of reminds me of Sonic Bowl. I'm not sure how powerful the shield is against this enemy. Everything falls to the bomb. Another advantage it has is how long it explodes for. Its explosion duration is pretty crazy. It feels like it lasts for 3 or 4 seconds. What? Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm immune against spikes. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm immune to spikes. For a moment there, I panicked. Are you sure about that, Vincenzo? I didn't have any problems. Like I said, I'll take a look at it after this game's done. The game's level editor, Buster. This game comes with a level editor, which allows you to actually edit any level in the game, as well as add in new enemies, mini bosses, bosses, weapons, etc. Oh, thank goodness, oh, thank goodness, the boss is actually doing something slightly different. That being summoning in enemies occasionally, and actually changing his height. Out of all the bosses I faced off against so far, he feels the most advanced. Now if only he dealt more damage. This is becoming... I'll stop complaining about the amount of damage enemies deal. I'll stop complaining about the low amount of damage enemies deal to me until the end of the game. Sonar Wave. Last but not least, Mummy Bot. My biggest problem with the game isn't really the controls or physics. They're fine. It's more the level design. It's more the enemy enemy mini boss boss. It's more the enemy mini boss and level design, as well as weapon balancing. The engine itself isn't the problem. Quick question. Someone mentioned the leg parts are in the mine stage. Which stage is the mine stage? Was it Dynamite Bot or was it Daisy Bot? I already went to Dynamite Bot stage and got the arms upgrade. So wouldn't the boots be in a different stage? Wait, something's up there. Maybe that's where I need to get it. So this is like the Noise Crush then. But you can't charge it up. Just for some items, extra lives. Like I said, we'll go over that after. Like I said, Vincent, so we'll go over that once this game's done. I guess this weapon's okay. It'll work better for Rockbot though. Betabot's twin cannons are just too powerful. This shield is also fairly powerful, but unfortunately, I can only have up to one on screen at a time, and I can't fire my buster through it. Well, I'm gonna die for the first time during a boss battle. I started out with too low health, and I couldn't dodge the sand tornadoes. Seriously, how do you dodge that? I can't double jump either. Yeah, a boss that's finally dealing a sizable amount of damage to me. But that's more to do undodgeable attacks. If anything, this feels the closest to what I'd like in a Mega Man game. Probably, but I don't have to be forced to use weapons for this. Desert Storm. I could go after Dr. D, but I want to get the leg parts first. Yeah, Rockbot has a shield. Rockbot has an innate shield like Proto Man. Although unlike Proto Man, he can activate it at any time. When he's jumping, regardless of when he's jumped, he can activate it at any time. You said the mine stage has the leg upgrade, but where is it specifically? Yep, but someone mentioned that the leg upgrade is in the mine stage. So... I already went down that ladder buster. That's why I skipped past it. Because down the ladder is where I got the arm upgrade. Wasn't there another stage where where something was blocked off by the blocks? I swear there was one of them. Did MageBot have one of those blocks you could destroy? Yeah, Gokulus, I don't know what stage it is in. Dynamite Man has the arm upgrades. One of the other stages had the armor upgrades, but which one has the... But I already went down and got it. Because, see, when I went back down the block section, that's where I got the arm upgrades. Unless you're saying that the leg and arm upgrades are in the same spot. Okay, Mage Man it is then. Yeah, I did, Gokulus. Alright, checking out MageBot then. wish this game had an exit utility. Aha! I should have paid attention to the discard block on the bottom left. I mean, I could have gotten this earlier too on my first playthrough. There's a leg upgrade. So mid-air dashing. I'll give my thoughts on air dashing once I'm out of the stage. Testing out something. There's something more you can do with this Gokulus, but I mean Panta, but I'll go over it once I'm done with this stage. I'm trying to test out how this works and it has some peculiarities. I like daisy bots. Now with the leg parts in hand, time to go to Dr. D's stage. So now with the leg parts in hand, I can dash jump. Well, I can do mid-air dashes, and I can chain it together with the dash, and I can chain it together with the dash jumps. In fact, if I do it next to a ceiling, I don't know how I was able to pull it off. Okay. Now, if I do a dash jump, if I do a mid-air dash and hold the jump button, I can actually jump out of it. But that's only if I didn't do a dash jump already. So I can do stuff like that. I don't think this was intended, but hey, it's cool. More movement tech. Lava probably still insta-kills me though. Let's try Desert Storm. Even though it doesn't really deal that much damage, it at the very least locks down the enemies. So I guess this is a somewhat useful weapon. B-copter? Well, you're a pushover. I'm gonna start complaining about the short length of the stages too, as it's a common problem for at least 3/4 of the game. I'll talk more about it when I give my overall thoughts. I'll talk more about it when I give my overall thoughts on the game as a whole. Magma beams. Oh no, force beams. That actually wasn't that bad, to be honest. Then again, I do have the time stopper weapon, so if need be, I'll use it. I suppose instead of getting air dashing, Rockbot gets double jumping for his leg upgrade. I will credit this stage for being long enough. First fortress boss is Power Disc. Do you have any other attacks, Disc? No, you don't. You could have at least sped up once you got to low... you could have at least sped up once you got to low health. That danger block looks familiar. Sadly, I can only pick up one of these green capsules. Destrin? So that's the name of this fortress? See, I don't mind if the game is a freeware game and it reuses assets from other titles. See Sonic Bowl, for example. But at the very least, credit the other sources. That too, Buster. See, the Mega Man Maker is a level editor, whereas the editor provided by this game is more of a game editor. When I say Buster, I'm referring to Bart. Whoa, that was a close one. Of all the things this game is taking heavy inspiration from, I don't think End Base is one of them. I don't think End Base is one of them. Oh, that was sudden. I expected some dialogue. If I was playing as Rockbot, I could slide under the missiles. That's it. Energy restoration time. I get the feeling it got stuck in the wall. It should jump from left to right. I'll call this boss Quarantine Hatter. Buster, I took a peek at the editor. The problem is that everything has rectangular or square hitboxes, not pixel-precise ones. What? There's even a height restriction. I just want that, please. Oh, wait, that's the different Buster. There we go. Well, if you want to, Sylveon. The sad thing is, Buster and Daibuman, the editor fully supports changing the collision masks. It's not like the editor doesn't support it. Again, I feel most of the faults of this game are not due to the engine, but more due to the execution and level design and other stuff. Shoot, Buster. Whoa. Oh, I forgot. I'm immune against spikes. I keep forgetting that spikes pose no more trouble to me. Those spawns and enemies too. Okay, let's try out weaknesses. No. Nope. It does block the shots. Nope. Well, that works good enough. I mean, just look at that. It does have a weakness order. That's one thing someone confirmed for me. But I have to figure it out though. I guess this is the rematch stage. Also, after every stage, my weapon energy is refilled. My weapons are refilled. Proper one, you mean one fits the chain? According to that person, yes. Whether it's logical or not, that's another question. I gotta say, this game's checkpoint placement is on the more generous side. A lot more generous than it needs to be. What else is new, Panta? See you later, Snivy. Not to mention, I feel a few too many of these screens are too empty. Oh, you again. This time you don't go down like a... This time you're not just a pushover. Well, okay. Can you please move to the right? Well, it discovered the ultimate boss strat. Okay, now that I use a special weapon, it swapped direction. Gee, thank you. Geez, this works against most Fortress bosses. You know, those would be more useful if the amount of weapon energy I have persists between the Fortress stages. You're the closest to a Sniper Joe analog in the game I've seen so far. Whoa. Ice physics immediately make you move really fast. Rematch time. I'll do this from left to right. Okay, Dynamite Bot. I think this is his weakness. He is ground locked after all. Yep, that was right. Seahorse Bot. He seems to be weak to the shield weapon. Mage Man. Mage Bot. Probably an explosive weapon. No, doesn't look to be. One of the games where I wish the screen flashed red or something when we knew we heard a boss. Okay, it's a time stopping. It's the screen flashing weapon. So Dynamite Bot beats Mage Bot. And you get fully refilled once you exit the rematch. And your life gets fully refilled once you exit the rematch. Ninja Bot? No, that's not exactly an effective weakness. Nope. The other problem is that the boss health bars are rather compressed. Okay, so Mummy Bot beats this boss. Vincenzo already used that. Please stop spamming chat please stop using all caps in chat. Petals Rainbow. Three more left to go. 8-Bot. He's weak to Seahorse Bot's weapon. Daisy Bot. Probably the explosive weapon. Run to the right side, please. Okay. I think that's a weakness. Let me try out the spike. Spike also works, but I think explosives is a better option. So that means that Mummy Bot must be weak against the spike weapon, unless it makes something up. No, he's actually weak to the bomb weapon. This is it. Time for the final boss. First go through the drill section. An empty room. There should be more drills here. Time for the climactic battle. Time for the climactic battle against Dr. Destin. Time for the climactic battle against Dr. Destrin. How are you even able to dodge this, by the way? Not the laser. I'm not talking about the laser. I'm talking about the entire machine itself. As Rockbot, you could probably slide under it, but as Betabot, I'm not sure. Onto the capsule. Let me guess, it's weak to either the banana or Petals Rainbow. Completely immune against that weapon. So you are forced to use special weapons. So you are forced to use your limited weapon set. I don't know why the tornado sometimes decides to work and other times it doesn't. It's as if the boss's weakness changes. Well, shield works very well. You're doing a terrible job at aiming at me too, Dr. Destrin. Well, it could be worse. At least you take damage from multiple special weapons. At least you take damage from multiple weapons. No, you can't actually damage him with your... No, you can actually damage him with your arm cannons. It's just that his invulnerability frames are extremely short. Even for a capsule encounter, this is fairly boring because outside of his teleportation skills, he has no other attack. Outside of his teleportation skills and rocket attacks, he has no other attacks. In any case, this monotonous encounter is done. Yeah, I got the impression that Betabot's more of a Terminator. Whereas Rockbot was built more as a... Whereas Rockbot was designed to actually have emotions. And thus, due to their differing opinions, Betabot leaves for the world. Well, I guess this is a good time to give my overall thoughts. Well then, I guess this is a good time to give my overall thoughts on Rockbot 1 as a whole. In short, as much as I see what they were trying to go for, this game is subpar. I want to separate my opinions on both the game. I want to separate my opinions on the game from the engine itself. The engine felt adequate and the engine itself felt decent. It's just what was built with the engine, it's not decent. It's just that what was built with the engine is below par. The enemies, mini-bosses, bosses, weapons, level design, and weapon design and balancing, they all felt like they weren't fully thought out. This game feels very rough. You can even see it in terms of the graphics. We can even see it in terms of the graphics and music. It really feels like this game should have had several more waves of polish. Most of the stages outside of 2 or 3 of them felt like they were 33% shorter than what they should have been. Weapon balance is similarly, and everything felt like it dealt too little damage to me. It feels like everything should deal at least 50 to 100% more damage. This was especially the case during boss encounters outside of Mummybot, because you could just face tank most of the boss attacks and yet still end up winning. This would almost never happen in a Mega Man Classic title, or almost any Mega Man title in general. It felt like the game was stuck on easy mode for the most part, and even though I played on hard mode, it didn't feel hard at all. In fact, the game got even easier once I got the arm parts, and especially the body parts, which made me completely immune against spikes. See, I like these upgrades, but they just make turn a relatively easy game even easier. And a similar problem can be seen with the weapon balancing. Pretty much, from my experiences of playing using Betabot, the only weapons that felt useful were my twin cannons, especially when they were upgraded, the time freezing weapon, the time bomb weapon, the tornado weapon that seeks onto enemies, and the shield weapon under certain scenarios. The time bomb weapon was easy. Oh, and I can't forget the banana weapon if there was a lot of ground-based foes. I feel that especially in the case of the time bomb, the weapon was way too overpowered. It dealt a sizable amount of damage, you could remotely detonate it, and you got a lot of uses out of it. Plus, you got a lot of uses out of it, and the explosion lasted for at least 3 to 4 seconds. It outclassed pretty much every other weapon in the game, barring 2 or 3 other ones. And frankly, I felt that spamming my base twin arm cannons would be better than using any of the other weapons. Again, I see what they were trying to go for. The game just really needed more ways of polish and rebalancing. Oh yeah, and I can't forget, the boss patterns felt way too simple. Most of the boss patterns felt way too simple, and they reacted too slowly. In fact, in general, I feel that there are too many melee-focused enemies in the game and not enough projectile-focused ones. So you could easily just destroy most enemies, and none of them would pose that much of a challenge. In fact, for most of the game, the main danger was falling into a bottomless pit or into a bed of spikes. But the later danger was completely removed once I got the body parts. So would I recommend you play this game? Not really. There are much better freeware titles out there. There are much better Mega Man inspired freeware titles out there. Nevertheless, I wish the best of luck to the developers behind this game. Hopefully their future titles improve upon the shortcomings expressed. Hopefully their future titles improve on their shortcomings. Hopefully their future titles improve upon the shortcomings demonstrated here. Oh, whoops. Well, alright then. In any case, there's one last thing I want to showcase. Oh wait, it returned. Let's check that out before I go over to the editor. CandyBot and KittyBot. So let's first check out CandyBot. So it can fire in 6 different directions. And can double jump. And we actually start with all the weapons already unlocked. One moment so I can swap over to KittyBot. And now here's KittyBot. So melee weapon. She also has dash jumping. And air dashing too. Can't deflect shots though. Her attacks pierce through enemy guards, so she seems like a fairly powerful character as well. Perhaps if you decide to speedrun this game, you could play as her. But anyways, I'm gonna be showcasing the editor of this game. But in any case, I'll be showcasing the editor of the game right now. Let's see if we can bring it on screen. Ah, here we go. Sorry, it'll take up chat. Oops. Where's undo? Alright, can you see the program? Hold on, I'm trying to re-edit this. The resolution is a bit off. That. Oh, I wish I set the resolution differently. Alright, is this better, everyone? Alright, this game... Alright, as I alluded to earlier, this game comes with a level editor and game editor, where you can edit a lot of the aspects of the game, pretty much all of them. First starting out with the game properties like the game style, the name of the game, special items, stage select, music, the game scenes, information about each of the stages. Apparently there was a Firebot level. The maps themselves, so we can change the BG image. The differences in how the stages are different depending on which difficulty you set it to. Constraints. Each of the individual map chunks. Because, for example, when we started out this stage... Oh, okay, kind of broke this map, it seems. But in any case, depending on which map you have, you'll go to different sections. Yeah, you could potentially do it, Daibuman. So here's Flower Fields, for example, the one that takes place in Mario World. If you so desire, you can remake the entire game. You can actually change which enemies are here. You can even change the tile set if you so desire. Reset the enemies, the actual gimmicks. In fact, this is something I forgot to mention during my short review. This game barely used gimmicks, and when it did, it repeated them through a lot of the stages. And yeah, Firebot. We can all guess which ones it's mimicking. We can actually change the animation of the tiles, the weapon properties themselves. Like for example, we can change the name of the weapon, change its projectile style itself, add a charge variation if possible, and more importantly, you can increase or decrease the damage. Sadly, we can't decrease the ammo usage, but at the very least, we can change the damage. Speaking of which, here's the projectiles. In case you want to change those up. Enemies, you can add new enemies too. In fact, the bosses are listed on our enemies too, so, for example, if I can find where Dynamite Bot is, remember when I was talking about how the sprite hitboxes were bigger than what they actually are? Yep, here's the hitbox area. If you so choose, you can make it smaller. The engine supports that, but they didn't do that. I don't know Vincenzo. There's no problem whatsoever for me. Changing how the enemies work? Let's see, let's take Mage Hatter for example. You can change the hit points, projectile origin, what kind of enemy, shield type, weakness. You mean the AI. Okay, so you can actually change the action numbers and how many and what percent chance they'll take of each and what percentage chance they'll use each action. Like wait until players in range, then do this, then wait for this. In fact, for stuff like DaisyBot, there are 4 unused action slots they could have used. Not to mention there's the whole players in range distance, extra parameters, extra actions. Not to mention you can add new objects, like the big pill, small pill, new gimmicks. It's more limited compared to stuff like the Megamix engine, or the Magmo 2 engine, or you even using Game Maker, but there's a lot more potential in this engine, which this game sadly did not utilize. You can even edit the player's properties themselves, as well as what each of the armor pieces does. Okay, so for Rockbot, the arm ability gives you super shot, body half damage, leg ability double jump. Oh, there are a whole bunch of these mega abilities you can add if you so desire. For Treats, the laser, extended immunity, air dashing. For Kittybot, the Hadouken, no knockback, and Shurioken. Not only that, this is just the editor. This game's source is freely available on GitHub, so if you want even more flexibility, you can always download the source, change up the code there, and compile it for yourself. So as I stated earlier, I don't recommend you play this game. It's really subpar, but if you want, you can take a look at the engine. Although, one of the benefits I've seen of this engine is that it's very cross-platform. It works on Windows, Mac, Linux, and it goes all the way back to PlayStation 2, thanks to using SDL1. But, honestly, if you want to experiment with a Mega Man engine, I suggest you use the Megamix engine. It's a lot more modern, it's easier to use, and has a lot more content, and it's a lot more accurate to the Mega Man series in general. In fact, you can just use the Megamix engine, readapt it, and make your own Mega Man-inspired freeware titles. Well then, I hope you all enjoyed my live let's play of Rockbot 1 viewers. If you enjoyed this let's play, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help out the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in a future let's play.